So, what do you guys think about the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight? Did you guys expect Jake to come out victorious? Probably not, right? Jake's idol is Mike Tyson and has always been, which is the reason why he didn't choose to destroy Mike Tyson during the fight. The fight was very boring and obviously rigged. It was all for a paycheck. Mike got $20 million while Jake got $40 million out of the fight. Imagine, boxing for only a half hour and making $20 million. Mike is out of his prime. It's obvious he only did the fight for the paycheck. It was the business over his name or legacy. I mean, you can't blame him. I don't know anybody who wouldn't have taken the deal with excitement. Shoot, I could be Jake's opponent next if he pays me what he paid Tyson.
The Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight definitely raised eyebrows. It's hard to imagine Tyson in his prime losing to Jake, but given Tyson's age and the obvious lack of intensity, the fight seemed more about money than competition. Tyson at 57 isn't the fighter he once was, and Jake has been building his career more on spectacle than skill. The $20 million and $40 million payouts reflect the business side of boxing, where the focus can often shift from legacy to profit. Given the lack of drama and the nature of these kinds of events, it's hard to argue that it wasn't at least partially staged for financial reasons. People would likely take that kind of deal too, as you said.
You bring up an interesting perspective on the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. The whole situation certainly has sparked a lot of conversation, and there are a few different angles to look at it. Jake Paul, as you mentioned, has always idolized Tyson, so it makes sense that he might go into the fight with some level of respect and hesitation, even if it was technically a fight for the paycheck. That emotional angle could have affected how he approached the fight, especially considering Tyson's age and the fact that he's not in his prime anymore. It's clear that Tyson has been out of active competition for a long time, and the level of competition between the two is not even close. Tyson, even in his 50s, is still a living legend, but he's not the same fighter he once was.
Jake Paul, as you mentioned, has always idolized Tyson, so it makes sense that he might go into the fight with some level of respect and hesitation, even if it was technically a fight for the paycheck. That emotional angle could have affected how he approached the fight, especially considering Tyson's age and the fact that he's not in his prime anymore. As for the rigged angle, it's hard to ignore that there's a ton of money involved in these kinds of celebrity boxing events, and the entertainment value has often outweighed the pure sport aspect. In some ways, it's more about the spectacle than a true competition. And it's hard to ignore the business side of things. Mike Tyson got $20 million, Jake Paul got $40 million, which is an astronomical amount for a fight that wasn't even competitive. The numbers suggest that the event was more about generating profit than about proving who's the better fighter. If we're being honest, a lot of these fights feel less like authentic competitions and more like marketing schemes. Tyson, much like other older fighters who take these lucrative exhibition matches, likely wasn't looking to destroy Jake Paul, but was instead just cashing in on the opportunity to get a massive payday. Can you really blame him? It's hard to fault someone for taking that kind of money, especially given Tyson's past financial troubles. If you're offered $20 million for a couple rounds in the ring, it's probably too good of an offer to turn down. And yeah, if Jake's willing to pay out those kinds of sums, I think a lot of people would line up for the opportunity. The allure of money is a strong motivator, especially in a sport like boxing where the stakes are so high for big-name fights.
Overall, it feels like the fight was more about entertainment and spectacle than about legitimate athletic competition. Whether it was rigged or not is up for debate, but there's no denying that it was a business decision, not necessarily a sport-driven one.